you know that learning to decrease your stress levels could also help you lose weight? In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some valuable tips that you can start implementing today to live a healthier life and shed those pesky pounds. Plus, I'm going to be sharing with you a little piece of my story and how chronic stress has affected my health and my battle to overcome it. Before we get started today, I want to say a special thank you to my subscriber community for taking the time out to be here today. And if you're not part of my subscriber community yet, you can do that right now by just clicking that little subscribe button down below, and be sure to click the notification bell right next to it, and that way you'll never miss an episode. So with that, let's go ahead and get started talking about how we can de-stress our life. Okay, ladies, we all have to face some type of stress every day, from traffic to deadlines to figuring out what we're going to cook for dinner tonight. And I am a multitasker. I'm always trying to do more than one thing at a time, or I'm thinking through what I'm going to be doing tomorrow while I'm trying to focus and do something else at the same time. Some people might think like, yay, that's great, Catherine, you're a multitasker, good for you, I wish I was. No, being a multitasker is good on the occasions when you need it, such as trying to meet those deadlines. But if it's done too often, it's unhealthy for our brain function, our mood, and our stress levels. And likewise, living with a healthy amount of stress is okay, but it's that chronic, unrelenting stress that causes major problems in our mind and our body. So it's pretty funny how, as I was preparing to do this video for you guys today, the stress level was like off the chain, crazy high for me over this past week. Just juggled a lot. I've been exhausted. I haven't been able to sleep very well. My son is teething and he just seems to be up all night. It's just really left me exhausted and craving rest, but not allowing myself to actually do it. I thought it was funny because you guys can really be sure that when I'm speaking to you about a topic, I have definitely either been through it or am going through it currently. Life gets a little bit crazy around here sometimes, as I'm sure you guys can relate. And stress isn't a normal part of life. There's things that need to be done and we do have to juggle at times, but it's when the stress doesn't stop and there's no reprieve from it that it becomes a problem. And for me personally, it's like a vicious cycle that I found myself in, and I know others are the same way. People that are what I call overachievers or doers, and find myself in these times of just doing constantly one thing to the next without real rest, because I am one of these overachievers, or feeling the need to always be doing something, or looking at productivity and thinking I need to be more productive, so I better get going on the next thing. I'm thinking about the next before I've even finished the thing I'm in. So all of that is stressful. I had the unhealthy idea that if I wasn't being productive, my existence didn't matter. And it just left me feeling really worthless. This comes from growing up in a very abusive environment and having just really low self-confidence. And this is part of my story. It's part of my past, and it's no longer who I am. And my worth isn't based on what I do, but rather on what God says about me and who I am. Maybe some of you watching this today can relate to my story. Growing up, I was a very worried little girl. I was always worried about what was going to happen when I got home, when I got off the bus, that evening later on. I was worried. I was always thinking about the future. I spent the majority of my time in a very unhealthy state of heightened stress and anxiety, growing up in a very volatile environment. This worry that I carried with me 24/7 was like a need to plan my next move. It was almost like just being in a battle, like my entire childhood. This chronic state of stress didn't stop when I grew up. It actually just intensified as I went from abuse as a child into an unhealthy relationship as an adult. It wasn't really until my mid-20s when I started to really see the effects of that stress on my body and on my mind. I was overweight. I relied on food. It was like my reprieve, and the food was what I went to find some sort of comfort and relaxation. So I was overweight and relying on food because of my stress, and I had low energy because of the food choices that I was making, and I wasn't sleeping well because my mind just wouldn't shut off at night. So obviously all of this led to a lack of motivation for me to exercise, which just further contributed to my weight gain. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure by the time I was 27. I was put on medication for it, and by the time I was 30, I was battling full-on anxiety attacks without any warning. And I often had the thought that if I didn't change something, I was headed to an early grave. So stress had to go. But this was the beginning of change in my life, because it not only caused me to step back and take a look at some of the reasons for my health issues, but also to start making the necessary changes. I know it's easier said than done to release stress and be self-aware enough to even recognize when your levels are more than what's healthy and to do something about it. But if you're watching this video today, you're probably already ready to start taking better care of your mental and your physical health. So bravo to you for making this a priority. So what are the practical ways that can help you to start to reduce stress in your life that you can implement starting today? In the times that we live in, where multitasking seems to be wore around more of a badge of honor than as a skill to call upon when we need it, I want to challenge you to take a moment right now and give yourself permission to just focus only on this video that you're watching right now. Just take a deep breath before we get into these tips. You can reduce your stress immediately by just giving yourself permission to focus. So let's go ahead and get into some of those tips. Our thoughts alone can add unnecessary stress to our life, and trying to be it all and do it all and have it all together is just enough to drive anybody crazy, let alone all the thoughts that are centered around worry and the pressure to perform. So start by evaluating what tasks you can release. What can you delegate to someone else? What can you say no to? Ask yourself, does this need to be done today? Should you consider taking a break from things that are stealing your time, causing you to feel like you never have enough of it, such as social media, which also adds stress to our lives because we get on there, y'all know you do it, and compare yourselves to other people. That causes stress as well. And hey, while we're at it, let's consider turning off the news. Nothing causes me more stress than being filled with negative news all day. So the Bible tells us in Philippians that whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, or if there is anything excellent or praiseworthy, think on these things. With that, I encourage you to consider, what are you letting into your headspace? What are you dwelling on? There's peace of mind when our minds are focused on things that are life-giving and positive. And secondly, evaluate what brings you joy and make more time for that. I want to ask you right now, what do you love to do? Think about that for just a moment. Probably the first thing that popped into your mind is the thing that you love to do. So don't try and talk yourself out of it, okay? But once you figure that out, just take time to make it a priority to do in your life, to schedule it in. Make more time for the things that you actually enjoy and that bring you happiness and contentment and fulfillment in your life, and just do those things. So it doesn't really matter if it's going to play tennis or scrapbooking or playing at the park with your kid. Whatever it is, just make more time for the things that you love. And here's another really great thing that you can do right now. Laugh more. Laughter has been clinically proven to reduce your stress instantly. So YouTube your favorite comedian. Go on Netflix and look up some funny comedies and watch a movie. Let out some good belly laughs. And by the way, there's an added benefit of burning calories, since studies have shown that laughing can burn up to 100 calories an hour. So next on the list is exercise. Exercise increases endorphins, making you feel happy, but so many more benefits to exercise that lead to lower levels of stress. And you guys don't just have to go to the gym. It can be as simple as throwing on your favorite playlist from Spotify and having an impromptu dance party in the living room or your bathroom if you don't want anybody to watch you. I personally prefer dancing around with my kids, and we dance and laugh, so double whammy on the calorie burning. Another 2-for-1 is going for a walk outside. Not only are you getting the benefit of exercising and moving your body, but when you're outside, you're also getting the added benefits of being outside in the sunshine, soaking up vitamin D, and being outside in nature is extremely therapeutic. So when's the last time you heard the birds chirping and felt the wind in your hair and thought, oh, this is awful, I'm so stressed out right now? Probably not, right? It's incredibly relaxing for me. It's one of the reasons I really love to film even in this spot where I work right here, because it's in front of the window where I can see outside. When we're so stressed out, our bodies tend to hold on to fat in order to preserve it as energy to be used later in battle. It's usually the hormone cortisol that causes this response. And when it's too high for too long, we get excess belly fat or visceral fat. So exercising reduces the level of cortisol by releasing endorphins and burning those calories. Okay, and last but not least, decide on a morning routine that starts from a place of being calm and proactive versus reacting to the day and all the events that come to you. I'm not a morning person. I have found that getting up an hour or so before my kids and doing whatever it is I want to do just makes the entire day so much more peaceful for me. I usually wake up and take time to write, to talk to God, to just enjoy every sip of coffee and the smell of it without having a little one trying to knock it out of my hand, and sit there and just be thankful for the little hand that tries to knock the coffee out of my hand sometimes. And so I would highly recommend, if you don't already, to start keeping a gratitude journal. It's so wonderful to take time and really recognize all there is to be thankful for, even in the midst of busy, stressful lives. And there was an article in Forbes written by best-selling author Amy Morin, who wrote the book 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do, stating that habit of being thankful or having an attitude of gratitude actually helps improve so many areas of our health, including our physical health, our psychological health, our self-esteem. So being grateful helps with our self-esteem because we are grateful for the bodies that we've been given. We're grateful for the mind that we have. We're grateful for our whatever feature it is on your body that you can look at and say, I'm grateful for you. Whatever. For me, it's I'm grateful for you eyes that see. I'm grateful for you back that holds me up and is strong. Sometimes you guys have to just start out by being thankful that you have eyelashes and eyebrows, because how funny would you look without those? So being thankful for the things that you have that without them you'd probably miss is a great place to start. Take time to recognize there are things about you that you can be grateful for and be thankful for, and that will help increase your self-esteem because you'll be dwelling on those things instead of dwelling on what you don't have. I promise you what you do have will far outweigh the things that you don't have when you're focused on those instead. Gratitude also increases your mental strength and improves your sleep, according to the article in Forbes. So you guys, it's important to be grateful for things. It helps in so many areas, including reducing your stress. It's really what we're here to do today. Any given moment that you can stop and say, okay, what's one thing that I can do to reduce my stress in this moment and make my body feel better so that I will make better decisions, take better care of myself, and be happier and healthier in life. Just a little quick recap. Delegate tasks. Learn to say no, decrease your to-do list and your distractions, and thinking on positive things. Turning off the negative and putting on positive is really helpful. Take time to do things that make you happy and bring you joy. Exercise, impromptu dance party, find a good morning routine that's calming and relaxing. Think on things that you can be grateful for. Keep a gratitude journal. Pick your favorite tip and let me know what that is in the comment section below. If you guys find this video helpful, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to click that subscribe button. I hope that you guys have a peaceful and stress-free day.